Okay, I am live. I think I just finished streaming 7 hours ago. So we're back online because I just found something out and I wanted to try it. And what better way to do it than to try it in front of all of you? So here's what happened. Let me tell the Discord I'm live. So they'll know. Someone introduced an application for Windows to me, and it's supposed to be like it's called Stylus X, and it's supposed to be like Procreate on Windows. So I wanted to try it out. Let me just find out how to get the link here and tell the Discord crew. We had a really fun stream last night, or 7 hours ago, with the talking about sort of doing my draft run through of my review of the Wacom 114, and we ended up talking about movies and flat Earth theory. It was pretty wild, but it was fun to just have a stream where we didn't just focus on tablets actually. And got a chance to talk about some other things. And I liked it so much, and some people said I should do more often a stream that's just kind of a general social stream. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do one very soon, actually. Okay, let me tell them live now. And on camera. There we go. Okay, Mir's there. Hera's there. Yes. So, Mir, I think you're the one who brought it to my attention, so thank you. And so, for everyone, let me just find the link that Mir sent, and I'll show it to you. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to click the link that Mir sent. And where did it open up? Somewhere it opened up. Ah, I see. Okay, it's on this computer. And let me project it. And of course, let me start my music. So, let me accept the cookies. So, they show it on probably a Surface. It looks like a Surface Pro. I'm not sure. It does look like one. But it says next gen painting on Windows, and the UI is interesting. It has a Procreate feel, doesn't it? And the entire usage of this has a Procreate feel. This entire ad. Let's take a quick look at what it actually says on the site here. Discover. I'm going to click on that. What do we learn? Simple, powerful, creative. Freedom to sketch, paint, and create naturally like you would on paper, any creative tablet. Okay, pretty standard language. Custom designed app drawing interface. It does look custom designed. Focus on intuitive experience, precision meets simplicity. Okay, pretty much standard descriptions of things. Who are we? Let's see. More than drawing, it's your second universe. That's quite a promise from a drawing app. The idea behind Stylus X was born out of frustration. Okay, that's a popular reason to start doing something. A frustration with the lack of a drawing app that offers a smooth experience. That's fair. There's nothing like Procreate. Maybe on Windows. Maybe the closest might be Adobe Fresco. Hey, Arch, good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see what else we got here. Now, we're in the early stages, so that's important to note because we don't know how much. I haven't even used the app yet. You're just gonna see me use the app and just for the first time. So far, I mean, I'm liking what they're saying, where we're going. They're just getting started. We hire artists, new collaborators. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, now just before I continue, I'm streaming on a Mac, but I'm about to show this to you on a Surface laptop. I don't know, maybe it's 7 now or something. It is the ARM version of a Surface laptop. Okay, so sometimes software can have issues with ARM. How I install this application, I just went to the Microsoft Store, you know, the app, and I found it and I clicked it and I bought it. It's $30, so it's not super cheap, but it's not super expensive either. It didn't seem to be a subscription. It seems to be it looks like a perpetual license, at least that's what it seems like. So we're gonna see it. Okay, let me switch over. So I just launched the app. This is the first thing it says. Stylus X is in the early stages, shifting, growing with you. We continuously monitor performance and collect real-time, blah, blah, blah. You can disable automatic reporting anytime. Your journey starts here. Let's shape something extraordinary together. I'm ready. Okay, so one more thing is, I've connected my Surface Pro to a Wacom MoveInk 14. And so that's what I'm actually drawing. I can see the screen in front of me, and I'm looking down at the MoveInk, I can see the screen. The reason I picked the MoveInk was quite deliberate. And if there are any problems, we can switch to another computer without disrupting the stream. But the reason I did it this way is this is a pretty powerful machine, number one. It's got 32 gigabytes of RAM, and it's connected through a normal, to this MoveInk. The reason the MoveInk was special, why didn't I use the Wacom 114 or something else? Because the MoveInk has touch. And in my mind, I'm very curious, because Procreate is on an iPad and uses touch. I mean, you can interact with the UI with touch. I wanted to see if that was also kept true here. Okay, so we're going to explore if I can interact with touch. So let me just click on this. Oops, I'm clicking with... Sorry for that. I just was clicking, and I accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. And let me get that background music going again. There we go. Okay. So now I want to click I'm ready. Well, this is interesting. There's like these... I'm not sure what to make of what I'm seeing. Okay. It says main group. I don't know what this is supposed to represent. There's a check mark here, a star, I guess favorites of something, a plus button, another plus button or something, and then a down. Okay, so let's just click the plus. I think that seems like a new document. Or I'm gonna use the mouse, or the pen, sorry. And for right now, I'm just using a Wacom 1 standard pen with this. So let's just see what happens. I don't really need a fancy pen. Let me cancel out of that. Okay, I'm gonna keep touch off for right now. I'm just gonna use the pen because I know I'm going to accidentally click with my palm or something. Screen size. Okay, so this is nice. Okay, I'm glad that they give me screen resolutions as well as paper resolutions. I know a lot of you think about paper sizes when you draw, so this is convenient. And I don't use Procreate that often, so I think this looks different from how Procreate does it. But those of you who are heavier Procreate users, I'm curious what you notice about this. Now, the Wacom MoveInk screen size is 1920 by 1080, which is why it's pre-selected, I suppose. However, hi, Mihao. Hi, Meow. Meow, it looks like Stylus X is trying to be Procreate for Windows, like desktop Windows. Okay, so I just installed it and I just opened it up. I haven't done a single thing yet with it, so you're catching me at a perfect time. Okay, so let's see. I'm surprised I don't see a 4K. Oh, here it is. 4K is right there. Okay, great. So let's click it and horizontal, vertical, color profile. Yeah. I'm not a color person, so I'm just gonna leave this in color mode RGB. Do I have other color modes? I can do CMYK. That's interesting. That's a surprise. And color profile. I don't know what color profiles mean, so I'm just gonna leave it at don't manage. Okay. And then create. Okay. So this is the interface. I'm gonna turn off my face for a second because I just want you to see the entire thing. And remember, I haven't read anything, and the videos don't really explain anything either. There's just some demo videos. So let's see. I'm gonna just find the brush somewhere. It looks like the brush stuff is up here on the upper right. Can I move this? I don't think I can move this. Oh, it filled. I think that's like Procreate, right? You look at the color and you drag it over, it'll fill. So that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna Control Z undo this. Okay. But let's just click on the brush. And okay, this is definitely feeling like Procreate. Yeah, absolutely. I can do it. Give me a second. You can also just search for Stylus X on the Microsoft Store app. And here's the web page for it, which I'm just about to paste in. There you go. It's StylusX.com, so pretty simple name. And if you search for Stylus X on the Microsoft Store, you'll find it. Okay, so definitely this menu has a Procreate style to it. And what does this say? This is fine line. I'm looking for like I'm just scrolling up with the pen. That's all they have in this category of this, whatever this is. Okay, what's here? Some more brushes. What about, this one? Wet brushes. High Paint does have a competitor. That's right, Mir. This really, I mean, again, I haven't used Procreate enough to say, but this definitely has that look of Procreate, doesn't it? I'm not going to say it's a copy, but it definitely has that feel. Now, we're going to have to look at what the UI is doing. I'm going to leave it at fine line. Let me just draw on it and tell you what it feels like. Okay, you know how Procreate, by default for its brushes, you draw. So let me put my face on here. You know when you draw with Procreate, it's like processing the stroke as you're drawing and just slightly after you've drawn with the stroke. The same thing is happening here. It has that same Procreate kind of way it looks at a line, right? And we'll see if we can tweak that behavior. So it's smoothing things out. I would say it's not doing as much stroke prediction or position prediction as Procreate. So if you can see, you probably can't see it. Well, you can't see where my pen actually is, but there's more of an obvious pointer lag, or brush lag rather, with this than you would see with Procreate. With Procreate, you can draw, you can draw pretty fast, and you'll see the line really at where your pen tip is. Yeah, it's a lot of state, but this is normal for a lot of Procreate brushes, so it's just a setting. And we'll figure out if we can change the setting. Let's click here. I'm going to click on the brush. And what do we have here? We have the assist, line control, distance. I'm going to turn down the assist. I think that's probably what's causing it. I'm going to put it down to like 10% or something. And my face is in the way, so I'm going to move it out. And I'm going to click apply. Okay, I'd like a little bit less assist. So I'm going to see if I can crank it down to 0. Maybe I'll turn down line control. I just don't want it to do anything. Let's apply that. Yeah, now it works like you'd expect. Okay, so let me. How can I? If I hit backspace, will it clear? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna clear it like this. Click the layer, and I'm gonna click here, and I'm not sure how to delete this layer. Whoa! It crashed. I just dragged the layer and it crashed. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. This is why we try things out. Let's go back here. So it's a little rough. Let's try it again. Skip recovery. Click here again just to open up a document, and I'll go ahead. Same thing. I'll go back to 4K and just hit create. And I'll be a little careful about that. The layers. Let me get my face out of the way again because it's in the way. Let me start painting. And it forgot about my settings, so I'm gonna have to reset. I'm gonna have to go back and take care of this. Actually, what the hell is this setting? Anti-concussion. Anti-concussion. Mirror, I did press. Well, I pressed backspace. I didn't press delete. I will try that. Thank you. Backspace and delete. Neither one of them clears the layer. Okay, Hera, I'll do that. I'll try the recovery option if it crashes again. Let me now try to at least clear the layer. There's hide it, but I want to clear it. What's this do? No, that doesn't do. Oh, you can color, you can tag the layer by color. Oh, anti-aliasing, you think? I'm not... Hang on. I'm not sure if I'm seeing a difference. Okay, I'm gonna double click. No. Okay. I'll figure that out later. Maybe I'll just hide the layer and add a new one. How's that? Hopefully it doesn't trigger a problem. Okay, second layer. Maybe... I was hoping maybe I'll get more options when there's two layers. I do have more options, but I don't have a delete layer. Okay, fine. Good enough. I'll just start using my empty layer, okay? You gotta wear a helmet, or potators, you gotta wear a helmet when drawing. Okay, so... Yeah, it's feeling good. I mean, like, it's more responsive when you turn off all that assistive tool stuff. It's not quite doing that same prediction that I think Procreate does, but I think you'd like drawing on it. It does feel relatively responsive, especially for a Windows application, right? If any of you have used Concepts, it feels somewhat similar to Concepts. If Procreate ever releases a Mac Win port, they'd be filthy rich. Yes, Jerry, I think you're. They'd make a lot of money, but I'd like to understand their business model for sure. Oh, I forgot to mention. I guess Adobe Fresco is kind of like Procreate-ish on Windows, but I don't like using Fresco. Though that's more of a personal problem than anything else. Okay, I'm not sure how to erase anything. Let's just try using the eraser. And I'll click on the eraser there. Do we have other kinds of erasers? Okay, so we have all these kinds of general things. Whoa, I accidentally hit... Just like with Procreate, in Procreate, when I'm selecting a brush, I have this... I click too much and I actually start editing the brush. So that's a little bit unusual. I mean, this isn't unusual for me. I didn't mean to do this, to bring up the brush editing. Let's go back out here and Okay, let's do the classic Procreate. Can I change the size? Okay, yeah. I can. This one goes from 0 to 92. And what's this middle thing? That must be opacity. Yeah, that's opacity. Okay. Interesting the way they express this, and I'm surprised I don't have a bigger size for brushes. What's this? This is some kind of... Oh, smudging. Okay, something interesting's happening here with smudging. I don't know if you've noticed it. They actually shift the colors a little bit. Have you noticed? The blue becomes slightly... I believe it's changing a little bit in its color value. It's a little more... Smudging is not very performant, to be honest. Though I'm not sure if that's me. Yeah, it's not me. It's not quite as smooth. It's a little bit stuttery at times. It's not bad. And one of the problems I'm experiencing is I'm seeing it on in 3 different ways. And one of the ways I'm seeing it is through a delay. So it's a little more confusing for me through the delay. Yeah, it's actually not bad. It's actually not bad. That stuttering was more my, that it's getting processed before I see it on one of my monitors. So the stuttering is not that bad. That was just me. Let's see if Control-Z works. Yes. Okay, I have a decent amount of Control-Z undos. Okay. Now, what is this? This is the Select tool. Actually, I haven't used the Select tool in Procreate. So let's see. What do you do here? I don't even know. Once you select it, once you select something, how do you move it or do something? Like, can I delete it? I don't even know anymore. Whoops. Deselect. Okay, I really don't know how the select tool works. It's mixing with white. But it is like Procreate Mirror. Let's go back here. What is this thing? It's super similar. What is this? Oh, flip. Okay, that's nice. Reset. Vertical alignment. Okay, that's nice. Let's get back to painting. Let me try the selection again, actually. I do want to see, does it affect my painting? Let me start. The selection disappeared. Okay, so that was a little bit unusual. Let me take a look at the colors again. We have color shades, color history, my favorites. Interesting. It's very interactive here, kind of cute. We've got this wheel. Overall, the UI is pretty performant, honestly. I'm actually overall surprised. And I apologize, my face isn't online. There's just the UI is... I'm just pressing and moving these around. I mean, I'm enjoying the experience. It's snappy, it's very attractive. It is definitely optimized for this use case, right? In a way I have not seen on Windows. I guess Fresco is also optimized for this scenario, but I don't really like using Fresco. I know some people are in love with it, but I cannot understand how it works. So no crashes yet. And we'll try drawing some real things here. Let's see. Mir says, also when resizing, I saw a plus icon. Can you press that? Resizing. Let's see if I can do that. Is it when I had a selection mirror? Like this? Also when resizing, I saw a plus icon. Was it this the resizing? Is this thing here? I'm not seeing a plus icon. There's this thing here on the far left, which kind of looks like a plus. Let me try to resize this actually. Okay. Oh, I see. I see. That. I get it. That's how I move it around. Right, right, right. Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Huh. Now let me get out of this mode and go back to painting. Okay. What is this? Adjustments like hue, saturation. This is very similar to Procreate, right? That's nice. I'm liking this app, honestly. There's some effects. I can't do any effects right now. I don't know why that is. Maybe I'll go back to painting for a second. Okay, I can't paint right now. Oh, is there a reason for that? When I did these effects, I'm kind of stuck here, but I want to get out of here. How do I get out of here? It's similar. And I undid it, or it went backwards or something. Oh, I can do it like a brush as well. I see. Oh, that's interesting. You can paint the effect. That's nice. That's cool. But I want to know how to get back to not doing that. Like I pressed the erase button and this is highly confusing. I'm going to just start. Again, how do you get rid of a layer? This is really... Oh, you drag over. Okay. Okay. I get it. I'll drag over. Okay. So that was interesting. I just remember I'm not a Procreate user, so, or not a heavy one, so I don't know things that would be obvious for a Procreate person. Okay, let's just do some, you know what I'm going to draw, right? Let's do a basic drawing of my favorite guy. Okay, let's just see. I'll put my face back on. I'm not really satisfied with this frog, but you get the idea, right? Okay, so let's see if we can do reference layers like I'm used to in Clip Studio Paint. I think I saw an option here for reference layer. Reference, okay, yep. And I'm gonna add a new layer, and I'm gonna move it underneath that. Last time that crashed this thing, by the way. Now I'm going to find a fill tool, wherever that is. And I don't know where it is. Where would a fill tool be? I'm not sure. Can you resize the brush? Yes, yes. So if I click here, this gives me the resize. It's probably hard to see. Let me do it again. And it doesn't let me resize it to like a crazy size, only to like 50. Where would the fill tool be, Mir, in Procreate? I'm not really sure. 3D Assistant? This thing? Let me try a 2D Assistant. What's this do? There's a grid. Let's go ahead and just hit yes. Okay. Oh, I see. It really locks my stroke. Okay, I don't want that. Let me Control Z my way out of it. And I'll just click it. Oops. How do I delete the assistant? Okay, good. I'm out of the assistant thing. Mir, where's this plus icon? You keep seeing a plus icon, but I never see it. Is it, do you see it only appear and disappear sometimes? Because my eyes don't catch it, honestly. And what the hell is this? Whoa, whoa, okay. I didn't... Sorry, you guys can see it. Let me try this again. Okay, you see this thing down here in the lower right? There's no fill tool, you just... Oh, that's right, that's right. Thank you, Mir, I forget this. I didn't know what this was. I thought this worked like... there's a plus icon on the resizing. Okay, okay. I'll try to resize again, we'll see. And it's like a joystick, like in a game. When you drag the inner circle left to right, it pans this thing, okay? It's kind of a smooth pan. It's a little weird. And what's this? Oh, that's the rotation. That's cool. Does everyone see what's happening here? Let me pan it so it's in the middle here. So look at this. Whoa. The outer wedge, whatever you call it, arc, is the rotation. I've never seen this done like this. Isn't that interesting? I don't even... Yeah, this is weird. I mean, this is weird, but weird in a cool way. Okay. Mir mentioned... Okay, for a second, I'm going to go in the OSD, and you can't see what I'm doing. I'm in the MoveInk 13 OSD, and I'm going to turn on touch, okay? And I'm just going to see if... And maybe I can put a view on that shows you my hand. Nope. Hang on. That's not the view I want. Is that the view I want? Well, this is going to be close enough anyway. Let me get the ob spot to manually focus here. Or continuous then manual. There we go. Okay, and I'll zoom in a little bit. It's not a lot of bright lighting around here, but let's see what touch does. Okay. Touch actually does the thing that you think it's going to do. And it works. You might be seeing a little bit of, what do you call it? It's choppiness. That's the video encoding. It's not choppy when I'm doing this, actually. So it behaves the way you'd expect, okay? Now, occasionally it's lost my... You just see that? I zoomed in, but then a couple times it lost, like when I went out and I went back in, it forgot the back in part. But it's working the way to expect, okay? It is working the way to expect. Okay, and the moving has another menu here. Okay, so let me just try drawing actually with, oops. Can I draw with my finger? I can't. I cannot draw with my finger, but I can draw with the pen. Can I two-finger undo? Yes, that works. That's fantastic. Oh, Mir sent something on live stream chat. Let's see. Live reaction, yes. Someone used that live reaction thing. Where is Mir's comments? Live stream. Oh, I'm not in the right place. Oh, it was... Yeah, thank you, Mir. Okay, let's go do what you were asking. Yeah, what's the plus do? Okay. Oh, is it like presets or something? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's just like presets. So you can snap to certain locations. Memoir says, at least they're introducing their own gimmick to avoid copycat allegations. And thanks for saying the link, Mir. Nick Tyler, good to see you. Android virtual joysticks are going to be terrible in Windows. Krita's shift space and space shortcuts work perfectly. Speaking of which, does shift work like I'd expect? Oh, okay, so I moved my hand. Let me just do it this way. It doesn't let me draw with my hand. I'm holding down the shift, not the shift key, the space key. And now it'll let me move the thing. That's interesting. The shift doing thing? Not that I can see. Okay, let's try mirrors telling me, I'll get this frog some color. Okay, so I drag the color. Hey, it worked. I'm gonna put a very light gray for the eyes. That's actually very light. And very dark gray for the... Can I drag colors with my finger? I can, actually. That's convenient. I wish this thing had vector layers, though. You know I love vector layers. And let's get the lips. I'm dragging it over. Okay. That was actually fun. And let me try doing now something I would actually do. Let's try shading it just a little bit. And I don't know, I'll pick this color and make it like this. And what? I'll add a new layer. And are there color modes here? Oops, I'm going to go back to my previous view. Are there color modes here? Select alpha, mask, merge down, merge down. No. Let me do it like this. I hope it doesn't crash. What's this? Must be the... Oh, I copied it. I didn't mean to do that. Let me Control Z. Where would the mode be? I don't know. It may not have modes. Yeah, sure, man. I can do that. Let's go there. Here's all the options for brush settings. Yeah, Nick, I see your point about the dragging the color with the finger. Of course, I can't even see where it's actually going to do it. I have to just kind of guess. So what do we have here? We have these things, which it's path, and we have shape. And I'm going to turn off touch because I know I'm going to get problems with it. So let me turn off touch on the moving. Path, shape, we have randomize, we have texture, we have visibility, we have water mix, stylus sensitivity, interesting. Interesting. Oh, they're saying pressure size, how pressure affects the size. Pressure does not affect opacity in the current settings. Pressure edge flow, tilt size, tilt opacity, tilt flow. Interesting. I'm very interested in how they did this and the interpretations of these things. Well, you know, Mira, there's more in this app than I suspected there'd be. Color dynamics, customize. Oh, you can set the max size. So if this is, if I understand this, let me apply it. And now, instead of just going from like 1 to 50, I get 1 to 2, 300. Okay, that's fantastic. So I can create really big brushes as well. That is good. And the performance with this 300 brushes is pretty good. No complaints there. Yeah, let's go back to that brush setting here. This was, where was it? Stylus sensitivity. What's this do? Oh, it just show me the pressure curve. How do I drag it? Oh, I can't directly edit the points. I can do this, but I can't curve it. Okay, I can do, the curve is controlled by the slider, I guess. Or I don't know, I thought it was gonna be, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh, wait a second, this is the lower, my mistake. I need to do it up here. No, it doesn't control the curve here either. So what controls the curve? I guess you drag a node. I see, that button just means show the curve. Then what does this slider do? Like, I think I'd have to play around with this. I'd have to play around with this. Let's see, Nick has a comment. Hey, Konto. Good to see you. Good to see you. Nick says, what's the point of this app? Specifically adjusted UI for small moving touchscreen like Pro... Nick, it seems to be exactly that. A Procreate for Windows. That's how the entire UI is structured. That's how they're... very clearly, this is supposed to scratch the itch of people who want to use a Windows device for... who have developed skills with Procreate but want to use it on Windows, on bigger screens, for example. So this is great. And it works well with this moving. Okay, interesting here. It's not clear what this slider does. It does something, obviously. I'm not sure how to interpret it. But it's not a curve. But you can create curves. And let me see if I can reset this curve. Oh no, it doesn't do that. I guess I can just drag these nodes out. How do I delete the nodes? Oops. Okay, this is weird. Maybe I double click on the node. Reset curve, sure. Okay. Double clicking. That's not a good one. Okay. Let me get rid of this thing. Okay. It's a little cumbersome to get back to the more normal way of doing it. Let's see. Sliders, how much the curve affects the brush. Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, I have to play around to get the feel. Let's see. Jerry says, yes, that's why the Procreate devs can be filthy rich. You can see it in their website. Yeah. So this is, I mean, I'm liking the feel of this, honestly. I am liking the feel of this. If you're coming from Procreate, you will, I mean, I am not a Procreate expert, I've said it many times, but you probably will like this. Let me try doing a little bit of the shading I said I would. That's not what I wanted. I just don't know how to change the layers rendering mode, or if that's even a thing. Oh, I clicked in the middle of it. And now I see multiply, and there we go. I'm gonna just draw now. Let me get rid of this. Okay. And I just make this brush a little smaller to be more controllable. And I'll deal with the excess later. Okay, I'm gonna add another layer. Let me turn off my face. Unfortunately, my face is just right on top of where the menus are. I'm gonna add another layer, and I click in the middle here to get, or right above it. Yeah, like above the slider. And I'm gonna call this color dodge. And then I'm going to pick a color like, I don't know, yellow. And I'm gonna try to paint. Now it's gonna do it too much. But let's see if I can. I've just learned how to use these layers finally. And then I turn down, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna turn down this. Okay, there we go. Not bad. I mean, I'm not saying it's artistic. Haven't had a chance to take a look at, really take a look at that one depth mirror. But thank you. I will take a look at that soon. I'm liking it. It definitely feels, the app feels definitely light. It definitely feels I like the look. This app has a lot of features, and I think they did a good job translating the UI to a Windows app, because I feel like I have the entire space available for drawing. Personally, I mean, this is just me. Again, I am not an expert with Procreate. They have changed some things, but they've kept the feel. It seems to be very similar, right? I probably would like them to. I would just like to explore this more, to be honest. Now I'm gonna go and do what Hera asked me to see what happens with recovery. I'm gonna try to create the same problem that caused it to crash last time. And I was just like dragging in some weird ways here, and it just went crazy. So it has not crashed again, which is good. But let's see. Let's go ahead and delete this layer. Okay, let me just try a new. Let me just delete all these layers. I'm gonna try. Sorry, you can't see that I'm deleting things. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start painting. Okay, just random. Oh, unlock. I locked the layer somehow. I see. Okay, I'm just gonna start paint. Layers hidden. Show. Okay, I'm just gonna draw colors and some wild stuff here as I talk to you. Can you try to hold auto shape feature, draw a circle and hold? Yes, of course. Let me Control Z all these things. Yes, Mir. Yeah, just tell me things to try, Mir. Okay, draw a circle and hold it for a bit. Yeah, did you see that, Mir? It kind of corrected it. See how crappy my circle is, and then it made it closer to what was intended. Still roughly feeling copying the shape. That was good. Let me Control Z this. I wonder if it would do it just on general, like I was drawing. Okay, there, when I just did this kind of shape. I think it corrected that, didn't it? Yeah, it did correct. It did correct. That notice is very Procreate about the layer being not visible and locked. Okay, good to know. See, I don't use it very often. Mostly I use Procreate just to like demonstrate like it's how smooth it is. Okay, let me get my water. So give me a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I am back. Okay. What else should I draw? I mean, not draw, but what else should I try out? I'm just going to sketch a little bit just to get my feeling for it. And can I hide this? What does this do? When I'm just... Oh, it let me zoom in as well, pretty easily. Not just pan. So if I drag the... Oh, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, hang on. Remember, I can use this joystick thing to pan, but if I press in the outer ring and move up and down, it'll zoom. And if I take this outer arc, it'll rotate. I've never seen UI like this. And is this how Procreate does it? I don't recall something like this in Procreate. Me either, Konto. Like, my knowledge of Procreate is so limited, and like, definitely it does more than I suspect. That I ever suspected. It's very responsive. It's very responsive. Let me try. Is there like an airbrush? Because I know people are always ripping on Clip Studio Paint for like it's big. It's very slow to do an airbrush. A large one anyway. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta keep hiding my face. Otherwise it's hard to see what this is. I gotta bring this closer to my face here. I really want a 16-inch move ink, you know? What is this? Velvet pencil. This is a wet brush. Oh, let's paint with some wet brushes. Again, just to understand the performance of these things. I'll pick a different color like this. There was an initial sort of slowness with the first stroke. But overall, the stroke is going pretty fast. You can see it's, you know, no slower than any other brush in this app. But I want something with really watery kind of edges. And this is okay, but probably not. I wanted something a little bit more watercolor. Nick, I have broken a Pro Pen too. I stepped on one and it cracked in half. And but I've never had one just fail on me, actually. I've heard a lot of complaints on Reddit about starting to skip line strokes, make gaps. That is a sign of, in general, a pen having a problem with its pressure sensor. Well, Mir, what I'm gonna do is try this with I can't do it right now, but I'm gonna try. I have a Cintiq 24 Touch, the 2025 model, so I'm gonna try it with that. And can you imagine Procreate on a 24-inch display with touch? I think that's gonna be an exciting thing to try out. I can't really do it in front of you, not only because it's just going to take up so much space here, I can't use the keyboard, but you'll see my face like above the tablet, right? It'll be a very strange stream. But the Canvas Pro 19 would be a good choice for this as well. Rain, I'm liking it. I think almost like one of the reasons I don't use Procreate is you know, I'm fine with an app having a UI that's very different, but in order to use Procreate, I have to also use an iPad. I like my iPad, but I don't really always like the app interactions, if that makes any sense, right? Like, I like the way Windows shortcuts work, for example. This could be great for me for when I'm feeling like I want to do more colorful painting with a big monitor, and I want to just see the entire picture. I don't want the UI to get in the way. You know, less palettes everywhere. So taking the UI optimization of an app like this, but on a huge screen would be fantastic. So I am definitely enjoying it. Mir says, this app is good for small drawing tablets. I wish many small drawing tablets have touch. Yeah, it's working very good with the Move Ink. And I think, again, Canvas Pro 19 it'll work great with, as well as the Cintiq 24 Touch, or any of the largest Cintiq Pros that I have that all support touch. Hanem says, layer quantity is more tied to how much RAM the iPad has. The SoC matters in regard to graphics processing actions like transform, warp, or using layer modes. Good point. Because all my laptops have 32 gigs of RAM. So like I can really go wild with the layers. Not that I need to, I don't draw that way. Oh, that's a good point, Mir. I'll have to really be reaching the corners on the 24. Reaching anything untouched, I'll be paying that big. That's true. That is true. I forget about that. Which goes to show you, I mean, now that you bring it up, this UI is optimized for a certain size of device. An 11-inch iPad, 11-inch device, 13-inch iPad. Or that size device. As you start getting bigger, you would need different UI optimizations. This probably would work very well with the Surface or a Samsung Galaxy Book 360. I want to get like a airbrush. Where's an airbrush in this thing? I guess this is like an airbrush. Let me look. Oh, this is like an airbrush. Let's see. I'm gonna get this one. This is pretty big, and I get the feeling it is more responsive than Clip. That's my feeling right now. I'm not sure, but it definitely feels more responsive than Clip. Let me try a different one, so you can see more of what's actually happening. So this is 500 pixel. I think Clip would struggle with this. Would you say that? Is that a fair comment? Clip would struggle with the 500 pixel brush, and this seems pretty fast. Let's see. Try Leonardo for Emilio. Okay, yeah, I remember the name of that app, but I've never really tried it. MD, can you test how optimized the app is compared to CSP? I think that's what I just did. It seems like it's better for large brushes on this app than CSP. A 500 pixel airbrush on CSP, you really notice it lag. Like really notice it lag. It doesn't even matter which machine you're on. It will lag with CSP. And this is definitely, seems to be more performant. Right? Now why that is, I'm not sure. Ben Boigmas, gonna be here for a while since Friday night. Okay. And you're having dinner. Konto says, I'd rather have higher refresh rate than touch on the bigger ones. See, I'm very insensitive to refresh rate. So for me, high refresh rates don't do much. Mir says, I also feel like this app is good for computers that have less performance. I could see that. I could see that. Let me see if there's any of the brushes I want to try here. Nothing too special there. What are these? Are these like hatching? I mean, they work fine. Let's see. What is this brush? I think I like this one in Procreate. Oh, it's a nice bunch of leaves. Yeah, to me this feels very responsive. More than Clip Studio Paint. If this had vector layers like Clip Studio Paint, I would really probably want to use it more, to be honest. Because as everyone knows, I love the vector layers in Clip Studio Paint. Yeah, you're right, Mir. It doesn't look power hungry. And my computer is just kind of not really struggling to deal with it. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad with a slightly larger size, like 16-inch. I think you're right, Rain. I think even with a 19-inch, I would probably be tolerable. So I'll try to do it with the Canvas Pro 19. Konto says, Clip's brush size issue has to do with only like single core processing, right? I definitely, that's a contributor, Konto. There may be other things about how they designed their brush engine which contribute, though. And Konto says, I'm noticing it a lot going from 120 Hertz iPad to 60 Hertz Air now. It looks really responsive. Okay. Okay, anything else people want me to try? What's this button do? Whoa, oh, that goes back. Okay, how do let me click here. This little arrow here goes back to the, like home. And I'm not sure what this stuff does. What groups? I guess you can save the artworks in sort of, you group them together. Yes, Memoir, I'll show you that actually. If I create a new document, let's leave it at 1920 by 1080, and you can see an orientation. I can say vertical. It's not by default horizontal, and if I create it, there you see. So, can you try gradient map? Sure. Let me create a new document so I get the full. The one thing was funny here is that I created a new document and it said I didn't save this. So it just overwrote that. So that was a mistake on my part. Let me create a new document, 4K, horizontal, creates. I want to save the old one as a file. Okay, sure, I'll just save it there. And now it creates a new one. There we go. Tell me where gradient map is, Mir. I'm not sure where it is in these settings. Yeah, Kanto, yes, good point. This is a one-time payment. It was 30. Let me turn. Sorry, someone put a nice joke in the chat in Discord. Yeah, I think it was something like $33 and a one-time fee, which is great. I mean, like, I think it's fun to see, it's good to see that. The Affinity apps on iPad are free right now. Interesting. Actually, isn't something happening to Affinity? They're supposed to release some new thing very soon, but I'm not sure what that's about. But people are panicking about them going to subscription, which I hope they don't. You might want to draw something and apply the gradient map to. Okay, let's draw something. I'll just make some strokes here for different brushes. Oh, that's a wild brush. Let me try a more normal one. Okay. Okay, where is gradient map? I really have no clue, so someone's got to tell me. Some announcement on 30th. No idea what it'll be. They were purchased by Canva, right? Let's see. Rain says Clips here does start having difficulty at 500 pixel brushes. That Spanish YouTube. Oh, Garcia Arts. That channel tests the art tablets, and good performance at 300 pixels is considered good. All tablets seem to struggle at 500. You mean all apps? It's probably in the left top options. Okay, I'll take a look. This is these look like adjustments. This is blurring. This one is the drawing assistance. This one is add image, some other stuff. Actions, canvas, touch, interface. These are like settings and other things. I don't see a gradient map thing here anywhere. Mirror. Let me check here. What's this thing? Now that's like changing the. Yeah, I just don't see anything that's like a gradient map anywhere. It's very responsive. It is very responsive. Yeah, I just don't see it. Well, Jerry, you know what? The more I think about it, the more I think. So first of all, obviously, many people are stressed. Many people are concerned that the subscription plan is going away from Affinity, or sorry, that they're going to subscriptions. But I feel like this is deliberate. I feel like with Affinity that. In a sense, it's like evil marketing. Like they're deliberately creating confusion to generate interest and people talking about Affinity so that when they reveal whatever, there's just going to be a lot of like news about Affinity. Because I don't think normally you'd do this. Like you wouldn't release a product like that. I can say from my experience at Microsoft, we would not introduce a new product by letting you not purchase the old one for a month, right? Or download. Like it would be very weird for us to do that. It would be like a discontinuity in the business, and I don't think we could even fathom such a thing. I'm not saying they're wrong or bad for doing it. I just think it's deliberate to create some excitement and fear, which is also a kind of excitement. Yeah, evil would be the right word. I think a lot of people like Procreate for being able to customize brushes. Rain, it seems like a lot. Let me just show you again so you see this. Then click on the brush. I'll click on this one. There's lots of oops, so you can't see. You can't. Oh my, sorry, Rain. I'm sorry. Let me try that again. So I'm gonna click on a brush. Let me hide my face. And then look how many different options there are. There's path, shape, what is this all? Randomize, texture. Like there's highly customizable, right? And you can control all sorts of pressure curves. I mean, this is a lot. This is a lot. Now, I used to really be very big into brush customization when I was using Painter years ago. But then I realized I was just spending too much time tweaking the brushes and not drawing enough. So these days, I rarely tweak brushes. Rarely. The most tweaking I do is changing the pressure curve, really. That's about it. Let's see. Mir says, I wish they opened a YouTube channel. They should. They really should. I would guess that. Amir, this is a super new app, right? And I had not heard about it until you sent the link earlier this morning. And Jerry, the Affinity apps for the iPad are free right now? Good point, Hanem. That is, it is October after all. Is there an option to permanently display the layer window or color palette window? I don't see anything like that. Let me check. Let me hit cancel here. And you want to permanently display the layer window or color palette. Okay, let's try it out. I can move it, which is a surprise. And when I moved it, okay, that was weird. Let me see if I can do this again. If I select the layers and then I click over here, it goes away. Okay? You see? Oh, sorry. Let me hide my face. Huh. It's blocking everything. Okay? So nothing's visible. I click on the layers and you see the panel. The second I click on the brush, the layer panel goes away. Okay? Now, if I click on layers and then I drag it, let's say, and now I can't drag it. A minute ago, I could just drag the darn thing. Now I can't drag it. That was weird. Why could I drag it a minute ago? I had the layers on the lower left. Now I can drag it for some unknown reason. So I'm going to drag the layers over here. That's as far left as I can go, okay? Now I'm going to click on the brush. So now the layers is just still there, right? And it's not disappearing no matter what. It will disappear though. If I drag it over here and click the layers panel again, it'll go back. Does that make sense? So yeah, you can make the layers stick. And now you can switch brushes without having to deal with that. So let's try that same theory with the brushes. Let's move I'm just gonna move the brushes down a little bit so it's like, or let's move it to here, okay? So now I can actually use it like a normal Clip Studio. I didn't know this. Can Procreate do the same thing? This is cool. See, I would use it like this because for me, I need the palettes, right? And I heavily customize Clip Studio Paint. Let's see. Mir says, let me try the color palettes as well. Let's see. I'm going to click color palette and I'm just going to drag it over. It takes sometimes. Now you can't shrink them or anything. Not that I can see. But they're large, right? I mean, they're going to take up space. Let me move. Shit, I can't move that out of the way. If I move it to the right edge, it'll snap up. I don't want that. So I guess I would get rid of the brush. Move the color box here. Make layers. Well, the layers is going to be as big as it gets. You can't resize the window. And now, this is probably how I draw, right? This is where I think it gets a little bit weird because the palettes are just kind of floating over there and you can still see the document underneath them like this, which is to me visually a bit disturbing. I'd almost prefer that to be an entirely separate panel on the left. Let's see, Rain says, Fangzhu concept for teacher drilled in my head. So the people that did not draw enough were always tweaking everything. Yeah, there's it's a real thing with people. It's a real thing with people, I've noticed. It's like when you get the option to customize everything, you spend so much time tweaking and you think that's the thing that's holding you back is the right settings for the brush. And it's not. It's just you're not drawing enough, right? You've got to draw. And like that's why remember the Wacom Moving Pad, the Moving Pad 11 and the Moving Pad Pro, they have that Wacom Canvas app. It has 3 brushes and like 3 colors. It's not feature rich, but actually because there's so few things you can do with it, you've got nothing to do but draw. So I like that philosophy. Sometimes you need to just be locked out of customization and other tools. Just start drawing. Let's see. Toucan says, animations are good, but they could be better, though it seems new. I do expect it to get better in the future, yes. Konto says, Procreate is famous for not allowing us to move the palettes. Oh, Procreate does allow you to float the color palette like this? Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. That's the one thing that I don't like about Procreate is... Okay, how can I explain this? In UI, if you come from the Microsoft world, 99.999% of the time, Microsoft UI, you don't have to know how it works to figure out how it works. Let me give you an example. Microsoft, let's say you have a palette of tools somewhere. Let's say in an Office application. There's always like a menu item that will also give you the same tool. Like there's a word with that tool's name. So there's always like a systematic way to get to every tool. Okay? Same, and there's never like just a shortcut key. There's always another way that's more accessible to get there and that's more systematically organized to get there. But with an app like Procreate, and there's all sorts of help, right? There's like tooltips and things that'll help teach you, and there's space dedicated to it. But with Procreate and apps like Procreate, you just have to kind of know what things do, right? And Apple in general is like that. You just have to know holding down the Alt key causes some effect. In Microsoft, we would never have a thing you could do that was like, oh, you just had to know the Alt key worked. There would always be some clear indication that you could engage this other mode, generally speaking, right? Mir says, moving the Docker stuff feels a lot convenient for larger... Yes, Mir, I'm glad you said that. I could definitely see that would be useful with, let's say, a larger 24-inch tablet. I would definitely put a bunch of palettes on the very right and very left, and I'd be very happy with that. I'd be very happy with that. So yeah, this is a fine app. This is a fine app. Let me see if I can find their the Microsoft Store entry for it and just show you what I saw when I got there. Give me a second. I'm gonna find the store entry. Where is that darn thing? I don't want this stupid Game Pass thing. Apps, what's new? Stylus X. Stylus X. So this is it. And unfortunately I bought it, so it doesn't tell you the price. But it was, I recall, like $33, okay? And I actually, one more thing is I bought it on another machine, but since it's linked to my Microsoft account, you can't see what I'm showing you, my apologies. This is the Stylus X entry on the Microsoft Store. And this, I bought it on another machine for $33, and it's linked to my Microsoft account. So when I logged into this computer, which is the same account, 7 pens, I didn't have to buy it again. I just said install. Okay, so it looks like you buy it and it'll just work on any computer where your account is running, which is the way it should be. Okay. I hate the way Clip Studio Paint manages licenses. It's like very confusing. In the server, someone said they keep discovering new features on CSP. I believe that. I've said the following statement many times. If for those of you who write code, Clip Studio Paint is like Git, the source control system. It is just filled with a lot of intricate details. It's a real like engineering tool, and so I've really come to appreciate it. And it doesn't surprise me. I learn about things about Clip Studio Paint all the time. It's very deep. It doesn't seem that way, but it's very deep. If nothing else, Clippy would let you know. Yes, Clippy would definitely. There are some elements of Clip Studio Paint like that. Yeah, the with their what they call the simple mode or simplified mode or something like that. You just have to kind of know how it works. Memor says, I agree. People say Procreate is beginner friendly, but I had more learning curve. I had more learning curve trying to learn Procreate. Same here. Same here. I don't find it simple because you can't just see what it can do. You just have to click things and figure out what's the interaction pattern. Perfect example is, let me open this up here. We'll pretend this is Procreate because it does the same behavior, right? Hang on a second. Oh, I'm gonna click on this. Okay, so let's just create a new layer here. Okay. And I'm gonna hide this. Okay, so I'm gonna draw, you know, a shape. Okay. And how do I fill the shape? This happened to me live, right? I didn't know how to fill the shape of this, you know, within the lines. And what do I look for? I look for a tool which is a fill bucket tool, right? And there's just no such tool. You just have to magically know, let me pick orange as the color, that you have to hold down the current color and drag it over, oops, and you fill. I don't think, look, I'm not questioning that it's easy. I'm not questioning that it's clever. I'm just saying you don't know that until someone tells you to do that. You wouldn't try to do it, right? And the reason is this behavior where you're holding down a color. Let me undo that. What on this screen in this app gives you that information that you can hold down this button and that would have that effect of filling the color like this? Nothing. Nothing gives you this information. Again, I'm not criticizing the feature. I'm just saying it's a very different perspective on how to organize things. Let's see, there's more comments here. Toucan says, I really liked iArtbook. It's iPad exclusive, but really good over the years. What is iArtbook? I have never heard of that. Rain says, when I got Apple MacBook, I felt Windows much more intuitive. It was always difficult to figure out how to do the same thing. Yeah, I feel the same way. I have adapted to a lot of the Mac stuff. Many of you don't know, but I've been using a Mac as my primary desktop now for about 2 months. And it's gotten easier, but there's still things Windows does better. But there are things Mac does that I'd really appreciate, right? I still think I prefer Windows overall better, to be fair. Oh, T.O.'s here. I'm currently testing this app too, and it's really good. Okay, that's great to hear. T.O., what I'm curious about is, have you encountered any crashes? It did crash one time for me when I started the stream. Hasn't crashed again, and I've done a lot of drawing, but it did crash one time. So I'm just curious if you find stability, right? Another thing that I noticed is there's a lot to this app. The way they talk about it, it's like, oh, we just started this app. It's just early times, but actually there's a lot of features for an app that just got released. Potatoes. CSP uses the confuse the customer so they actually spend more. Well, definitely some aspects of Clipsio Paint are confusing, especially with licensing. That's very confusing how licensing works. But the features, in terms of features, I think it's very clear. A good thing with Clipsio Paint is that the devs are probably nerds who happen to draw for some reason. It seems that way. It seems that way. Why are the Microsoft Store? I hope they change. Mir, what? Don't you like using the Microsoft Store? It's so convenient because it's automatically linked to your Microsoft account, and the purchases travel with you. And you know, honestly, I think it's safer to go through the Microsoft Store because, at least I believe, they probably do a little more vetting of apps and checking for things like malware. I think it's a decent thing to do. Let me undo some of these lines. Let's see. Yeah, it took me a while to figure that out about how the fill tool works. I'm not really a huge Procreate user. I wish Procreate and other apps did the thing where it explains what a tool does under a small text box. Oh, the tooltip. Yeah, that is, that's useful. That's useful. I mean, it's obviously very Microsoft-centric, but I do think it's a useful feature. Where are the settings for that fill? Tolerance, smooth? That's a good question. I have no idea. Let's see. Nick, I'm going to press this thing. And let me see if I can find something. Actions, canvas, touch, interface, cursor, advanced. I'll try advanced. Not there. Interface, maybe? I don't see any options there. Yeah, I just don't see where. That's a good question. Maybe if I click here? No? I hadn't thought about that, Nick, but you're right. There's just, it doesn't, there's some options I needed. Like I wanted to sort of, expand it when it filled, and I used another layer on top as the reference layer, but there's just no apparent option for that. And that option is critical. Okay, let's see. Konto's helping me out here. The fill tolerance is done by sliding the pen left or right without lifting it off the screen. Okay, a perfect example. How would one figure that out? You just have to have someone tell you that. Okay, so let's test this theory out here. I'm going to draw a black line, and then I'm going to fill it with orange. Okay, so I'll do it this naive way. I'm going to drag it over and drop it. And if I zoom in, let me zoom in. Can everyone see? The fill didn't go it leaves little white specks. It hasn't completely, I guess because of anti-aliasing, gone to the edge. So let's try this theory out. I'm going to leave it zoomed in, but I'm going to hit Control-Z for undo. And what did Konto say? Fill tolerance is done by sliding the pen left or right without lifting off the screen. Okay, so I slide it. Okay, I left it there, and now I drag. Oh, I see. I drag. Oh, I see. It went over too. But there's I like the way Clip Studio does it. I'm very biased. I will tell you what would make this app even better for me is if it had vector layers like Clip Studio Paint, because vector layers are powerful, and for especially the illustrations, their line art, they're incredibly useful. Okay, Tio says he has experienced a few crashes. Okay, interesting. So it's not just me. And the reason I was asking Tio is I am running this on an ARM laptop, a Windows ARM laptop, the Surface Laptop 7. So I didn't know, I was wondering if the crash was related to the fact it's an ARM device versus an Intel device. That's why I was very curious about that. iArtbook was a Procreate clone for free, but the UI changed a lot of the years and now looks pretty good. Okay, so it sounds like it's been developed over time consistently, and it sounds like it's still being developed. So I will check that out. iArtbook. Let's see. Ben Boykman says, I actually like the concept of MS Store, but MS is way too late to the party. Yeah, you know, the truth is they're just... MS Store is super convenient, but sometimes I just wish I would purchase everything through Steam or something, because it's easier for me to deal with that, right? And I know how to manage licenses and things like that. Maybe that's, you know, not the best perspective, but I thought it's very nicely done on Steam. Am I using this on a high refresh rate device? Okay, so let me answer both questions. Number one, I am not, let me show the question for everyone can see. I am using this on just a 60 hertz display. So, you know, I'm not super sensitive to refresh rate, so I'm fine with how 60 hertz. How's the responsiveness? Very good. I would say it's very good. I was drawing with relatively small brushes and then relatively large brushes, like 500 pixel airbrush. 500 pixel airbrush will, you know what? I actually have Clip Studio Paint, I think. Oh no, I don't have it on this. Actually, yeah, I don't have it installed. A 500 pixel airbrush on Clip Studio Paint you'll really notice the slowdown. It'll like really be laggy. But with a 500 pixel airbrush here, it was super fast. Like it felt very responsive. So there seems to be, it's pretty optimized for drawing. Let's see, Tio says 3 things about CSP license. CSP license is tied to hardware and not to user sign-in. Yes. Desktop CSP can be one-time purchase or subscription. iPad, Android CSP are subscription only. Yeah, that tying to hardware really sucks for me because probably like me, Tio, you try CSP on many devices, and I know they have kind of a doodle mode, which is nice, but you know, I want to use the full feature set and save files, and I wish they would. Actually, Adobe does the right model, I think. It seems restrictive, but it's actually super convenient. I think with their license is like, you can only use it on 2 machines simultaneously. You can install it on like a lot, but if you start using it on a 3rd machine, it'll say, hey, you need to, and they show you the UI for this. They say it's on these other 2 machines. You have to deactivate that machine. And you can just quickly activate and deactivate as many times as you want. With Clip Studio Paint, they don't know which machines it's on, and I have a lot of machines. And they have these nebulous warnings, like if you deactivate or you activate too many times, won't let you activate again. And it's like, you don't know where the limit is, so it's very nerve-wracking for me. And also if you activate it on a, let's say, 5th machine, it'll say it's deactivating from an older machine, but it doesn't tell you which one. And so it's super confusing. If they just did what Adobe did, or just to tie it to your account, it would be so much better. To get fill tolerance, you just hold and click until a circle. Yeah, I just did that a second ago. I just would never guess that though. I would just never guess that. So I'm happy someone told me about it. Mir says, I don't like Microsoft Store. I hope they add the download stuff at the website. Yeah, that's right. I don't think they have a download, right? You have to get it through the store. Oh, they do have good documentation. That's good to know. That's good to know. I'm actually going to bring up their website off on the side here and see where the docs are. There's a handbook. Looks like I'm trying to click on it. I'm going to show you what I'm seeing, so you're not. Let me go back so everyone knows exactly what I did. So in the Stylus X website, I scrolled all the way down, and I got to under Help Center. There's Handbook. That's what I clicked on, and it opened up this site here. So, yeah, this looks very well done and pretty extensive. Looks pretty extensive. So, as always, I recommend reading through the manual of things, even though, I'm not good about doing it myself sometimes. But I'll search for this. This is good. This is a good app. This is a good app. I wish they had a trial that you could try. I didn't recall seeing any option like that in the Microsoft Store. So it looks like you're going to have to spend some money even to try using it. Let's see. You need to draw contour with smooth brush to test tolerance. Test tolerance. Is that with the fills you mean, Nick? I'm hoping the developers are open-minded like Procreate. Mir says, I remember you were saying trying out the XP Pen Android driver on why it's not on Google Play Store and why would people download APKs. The Google Play Store has apps with viruses. I'm surprised, actually. I thought they'd do a much more stringent job of checking there. APK is the reason why Android is good. Am I mistaken? Is there going to be some restriction on Android about APKs and installing things? I'm not really, haven't kept up with that topic in the Android world, but people were a little bit upset about something. The apps on Google Store are APK itself. Okay, so you have that same issue with Clip. Yeah, it's very frustrating and scary. Scary. For those who have used Procreate, they will find the workflow tool similar. It is easy to learn, even for new beginners. Yeah, even with my limited knowledge of Procreate, I was able to just start getting started. The only place I struggled with is in the areas I don't know Procreate. So I think this will feel very natural, right? Yeah, I think this is it's a good one, and maybe this will put some heat on Procreate, the company, to build a desktop version of Procreate, at least for Mac OS and maybe Windows. I know it's not easy, but maybe. Would it be too hard for software companies to make manual videos on YouTube? I feel like they'd be very handy. You know, I have unique expertise in this topic, or not unique, but I definitely have done this in Microsoft. And there are pros and cons about making a lot of manual videos. Number one is the product changes fast. Products change fast. And your videos, first of all, it's a lot of effort to create these videos. People would not believe. And to make them feel professional costs a lot of money. If any of you want to spend $50,000, you can easily do that making a video. I'll give you an example. I was filmed for a 5-minute video, okay? And I had to talk. I only had a speech of 5 minutes, and we did 3 or 4 takes. And so I think I was there for 45 minutes. Let's just say an hour. And there was like a teleprompter operator, there was a camera guy, there was a producer. That cost us, for a 5-minute video, $50,000. Okay? So it's very expensive to create. The videos get out of date. And, you know, I think people should do them. And they don't have to make super expensive videos. But once you make a video, you're also on the hook for keeping it up to date. And so you have to make another video. And then you get the problem that YouTube doesn't let you update a video. You just get to get a new one. So people see old content a lot. It can be very frustrating, actually. Let's see. This will definitely give Procreate an Apple competition. Now Windows users no longer need to buy an iPad. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And this fills a gap that we've had, right? And people will be trying this out. And again, it's not an expensive app. It's only like $33. Toucan says, try Figma brush tools. Each stroke is a different vector layer. There's no eraser. That's weird. What? I guess I could see. I've seen some apps that behave that way, where every thing you put on screen is a new object or layer. But I hate that way of doing it. Very interesting, though. Yeah, I have to tell you, I'm really happy with this app. You know, except for the occasional crash, which I've only had one in this session. I also like that it actually doesn't do the right thing with touch. Like, that's actually useful. And I don't know what it is. I've had touch here with me on. I just turned it on again. I haven't seen a lot of accidental drawing. Now, I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's because of the Surface Pro and its Windows. or if this Stylus X app is doing something to avoid accidental touches, but I haven't seen, like, my hand is like right about here, the palm of my hand. I haven't seen any accidental touches so far on this session, which is, I think, remarkable. So I will give this a real try this weekend, right? And try to do a little bit of art and just basic stuff. But so far, I'm super happy with it. I'm like super, super happy with it. Actually, speaking of touch, I'm going to check what the options are with touch here. Oh, Tio says the price of the app varies by country. That's good. Hopefully it's lower in certain regions. Rem, yes, this is a Procreate clone. Absolutely. I mean, really a clone. Like if you used to Procreate, you'll be able to adjust to this app amazingly well. Let's see, what did I miss? Yeah, we've just been going through trying it, and again, this really is Procreate for Windows. I only use Procreate a little bit, but everyone on the stream has been telling me in chat that when I've been asking how to do something, they just tell me how Procreate does it, and I just do it that same thing, and it works in this app. Let's see, unrelated, but I just bought your favorite XP, the 22. Oops, let me put this comment. You're talking about the Artist Pro 22 Gen 2? Fantastic. Yeah, let us know. Rem, you're on the Discord, so just please let us know how it's working out for you. And if you need any help, just start a forum thread there, and we'll make sure you're happy, okay? Let's see. Toucan says, I did a drawing challenge with Figma. It's a UI design program, but I assume you already know it. A little bit. I've used it just once or twice. Because of each vector being a different layer, I had to make a union of... Yeah, I understand. Every couple minutes my tablet would free. Oh man. So it's not probably optimized for having a lot of layers. It sounds like is what you're saying. Perfect. Yeah, that Artist Pro 22 Gen 2 is one of my top recommendations for that size. And I don't even, you know what the strange thing is, XP Pen doesn't heavily talk about that tablet. And it's honestly one of the best values on the market, right? It's one of the, let me put it this way. If you want the 24-inch Pro tablet, which has the same resolution, the 165 Hertz, is $300 more expensive, just for 2 extra inches. Right? And I think this is what, $600, something like that. It's a terrific value. Let's see. Last thing before I go. Can you type gradient in document search? Yes, I'll do that. Hang on. Let's try that. Is there a search button up here? Oh, I see. There's the search button. Gradient. Okay, I'm not sure if that really helped. Options, layers, gradient. I'm looking for the word gradient here. I'm not sure they actually have a... I can double check. It didn't seem like it. Yeah, Tio, I was very surprised by that. I thought, again, the way they talk about this app, they almost talk about it like it's a beta that just is very minimal, but it's got a lot of features already and lots of brushes. So that was a nice surprise. Rem, in the United States, this cost me $33. And Tio said that it'll cost differently for different countries. So hopefully less in other countries. So Rem, I've been using it without touch enabled for most of the stream. So it works fine. You don't need to use this with touch. It works great with touch, but that was one of my concerns as well, that it would feel clunky and weird without touch. But actually, it works great. It works totally fine without touch. And Tio says, I think Procreate also does not have a gradient tool. Oh, okay. Nick says, XP Pen 24 Pro has a different display with better color calibration. That's fair. That's fair, Nick. That's fair. I still think that getting a 22-inch size at $700 is or $600 is it's a good value, right? But I agree that the 24 Pro has some technical improvements over the 22 Pro. It seems there are none. I think you're talking about the gradient thing, right, Mir? Okay, just let me know if there's anything else you want me to try with the app. I'll stay on a bit longer. Let's see, Harris says it costs about 40,000, whatever unit that is in Korea, which is around 30 USD, but it feels like 40 USD for us. Got it. So it's a little expensive. Okay, Tio is... Oh, Mir is saying Tio Procreate does not have it does have a gradient map? Interesting. Hang on, let's check this out. Let me find some documentation here. Let's just type it in. It's in the adjustments menu. We're looking at the AI answer. Select your layer, open adjustments. So we'll just do the Procreate steps, okay? So let's see. Let me paint with some more colors here, like orange. And let me use a brush that's not, that's not just one static look here. And let's blur it up as well. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's just see what happens to the gradient map for this. Okay, select the layer. Sure, we've got a layer. Open adjustments. Adjustments should be this thing. Yeah. And tap the adjustments icon, magic wand. Color adjustments, gradient map. I just don't see it here. Even if Procreate has it, I just don't see it here. Could it be under color balance maybe? No. It wouldn't be under curves, obviously. Hue saturation, yeah. I don't think they have this feature in this app. Nick Tyler says, if you don't need color calibration like 99% of artists, 22 inches super off. Yes, okay, yeah, that's right. If you don't need the calibration, I agree. Rem, test its brush engine out, dynamic brushes like watercolor. Sure, happy to do that, Rem. And you tell me if you want something specific. Let me hide my face for a second. I'm gonna pick this brush, a watercolor, I think. These are like the watercolor brushes, right? Like this one. Oh, what happened there? Suddenly I can't draw correctly. Let me... it's this thing. How do I stop? How do you get rid of this? I think I'm in some special mode now. Does anyone know how I get rid of this thing at the bottom? Mir, that's a tough one for me. The XP Pen 22, Pro 22 Gen 2 versus Huion 19. Honestly, I do prefer the Huion's drawing to the XP Pen because the pen is better and the Huion has touch, but that size difference is a big deal for me. Like 19-inch feels like 16 to me. It's very close to 16. 22 is a real, it's not too big. It's the perfect size for me. So honestly, if both, and I have both tablets, okay, so, and I've literally had them on the same desk, okay, literally had both on the same desk, and I will choose to draw on the 22-inch because of the size, okay? The pen isn't quite as good, and the color's probably not quite as good, but the size is a big deal. It feels better for me. So I would choose that, honestly. And it costs significantly less if you're buying one. Okay, how do I get rid of this stupid this thing, this mode? Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Hello. I literally don't know how to get rid of this thing on the bottom, this adjustments thing. I will say, Rem, that there's a diminishing returns for large. So for example, 24 is starting to get a little larger than I like, especially with wide bezels. 27 is too big for me. And I could never deal with 32 because when you have something that big, which by definition has to be within arm's length, almost half an arm's length away from you, it just takes up your entire desk. You can't reach around to pick up objects. You can't move it easily because it's so heavy. For me, the upper bound really is 24 inches. I would not use a tablet larger than that, even though I have. And you know, your pixels will be much more obvious when you get to these, like a 27 inch, right? You'll start noticing it. So a 22 for me is the best balance. I've never tried a 32 inch Wacom, Nick. I can believe it would be very awkward because I have used, you know, the 27 inch and I just thought that was way too much. Just way too much for me. Let's see, Ben Boykma says, the thing with XP Pen is that they are the only brand that has thick bezels because if they don't, no one would. Yeah, they are the last company fighting, you know, staying with wide bezels. And that's good. I think this year with the Intuos Pro has taught me the benefits of, you know, bezels. I'm a bezel believer. So yeah, it's actually good that they're taking their own stance on this. So you went from 24 to 27 inch RAM, and it was improvement, it sounds like, for you. I'm guessing the 32 inch didn't sell well. I think they only once made a tablet. Yeah, I think that's right. As far as I recall, there was only one 32 inch pen display they ever made. And I believe you. It was super expensive, and you know, not many people had them, right? The only person I know who had one for sure is like Scott Adams, the Dilbert cartoonist. Okay, someone's got to help me here. How do I get rid of this adjustments thing on the bottom? It won't go away. Okay, maybe that got it away. No, it just won't do it. Can we stop this adjustments thing? Okay. I just have no clue why it's on there and why it won't stop. Yeah. It's like you're a kid drawing on the wall and palettes are somewhere on another planet. That's the way I feel right now. That's on this channel, everyone's seen me struggle with UI so often, and I'm embarrassed. Can I pick a different effect? Nope. It's so funny. I'm just like, get rid of this thing. I literally have no clue how to turn this off. I may have to go out and go back into the document. It's still there. It does not want to go away. Try pressing the eye icon. Okay. I'm pressing it, but it's not doing anything. And I can't move it out of the way. And nothing else that I'm clicking on here seems to do anything to it. It seems to have, nothing seems to have any effect. I don't even know what the eye icon does. Maybe if I, it's irritating actually, because I can't, it won't let me draw. 19 inches is probably good for a lot of people, honestly. I think 19 inches is actually very good hair for a lot of people. I mean, Brad Colbo, he prefers 16 inches, which surprises me. To me, 16 inches is like the lowest I'm willing to go for typical drawing. Okay, let me try some other things here. Maybe if I just switch layers. Wait a second, what the hell is this? Let me get rid of, oh, I have to get rid of the layer? Oh, because it's like an adjustment layer, I guess. So I have to get rid of it. Because it's just, that's what the layer is. Its entire purpose is to be an adjustment layer. You can't, okay. I think I understand what's going on here now. Again, I don't know how Procreate does things. Yeah, that thing was just because it was a certain kind of layer. And now it's gone because those were adjustment layers. It's okay, that makes sense. Sorry. Again, to me, it's just not obvious that that was tied to the layer. Right? Now that I know that it was tied to the layer, it's like I just need to get rid of the layer or switch layers, right? My monitor was 24 inch on Discord. I checked, it's actually 21 inch. Conto, on Procreate, there's a quick menu to cancel it. Yeah, I think I figured it out now. This app looks kind of like a UX pane on non-tablets. Oh, that's a good question, Rem. I will try it with like an Intuos Pro and see what it feels like. You could be right, though. It may not feel natural if you're not looking at a pen display, right? And I think if you were just using this like it was on the laptop screen, it might not work as well as one might expect. But yeah, at least we solved this mystery. Okay, someone wanted me to do something. Oh, watercolor brushes, right? That's why I was stuck. Let me go ahead and try that. Where are those brushes? Like this one. And let's increase the brush size. It's now 570 pixels, okay? So this, I think, is drawing. Oops, did I do that? 570? Let me pick a different one. This one, yeah. And I'll maximize the size. I get the feeling Clip Studio Paint would really be struggling with this. There's probably just a little bit of delay here, and but Clip would not be able to do this, I think. I think Clip would struggle with the brush of this side. This is a 4K doc, or I can't remember actually, it's a 4K document. But I think Clip would struggle with this. Okay, Mir, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, I'll take a look at the book. Thank you so much for sending it. Nick says 32-inch 4K is cool, but only problem with them is 2x normal. Two normal full HD displays beat them in every use case scenario. And yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree with you. There's a lot of value in having two pen displays or two screens, right? I absolutely agree with you. On a display you have under your finger, it looks like there would be some disconnect. Yeah, it might feel weird. And this UI to me feels like it would be optimized for use with a pen display like this moving, right? Oh, good one, Hera. I will try that out also. But should I try it with it folded over? I think that's what you mean, right? Like, so that the keyboard is underneath it, I'm just seeing the screen. Konto says, I use a 43-inch TV and a 27-inch secondary monitor. Yeah, my drawing setup is actually on a 43-inch display also, Konto. It's a Dell 43-inch display. Nick says Intuos Pro has a learning curve. Some rare people can't adapt to hand-eye disconnection. I've wondered what percentage that would be. I don't know, I'm guessing here. I would guess 10% of people. Okay, out of 100% of people who try a pen tablet, I think like 80% you can understand it immediately. 10% take between a day to 2 weeks, and another 10% hate it from the beginning, and they'll never like it. They'll never adjust to it. Okay, Harry. Yeah, I'll try it both ways. Rain says, I feel like as a pen display gets larger, it gets more and more difficult to have good posture. It's physically exhausting. Well, to me, I think smaller ones cause me to shrimp over more shrimping. Larger ones, because they're more at my eye level, I don't have to lean over as much. They sort of help. They're a little bit easier for me on posture, actually, the larger ones. Konto says, I used the old Intuos Pro just fine in 2018, but after using the iPad. Interesting. I can understand that. Some people really absolutely prefer a display. I can just about draw on pen tablets, but it's so difficult, it's worth the investment at pen display. I get it. Some people just do not like it. Okay, I think I ran through everything, so I'll probably close the stream in a minute. Let me just share my final thoughts so far. First of all, thanks everybody. Thanks Tio especially for, since he's been using it as well, he shared some extra information with me. This is a good app. This is actually a really good app. And I'm surprised with how much there is in the app. Okay? I didn't see a trial. I think you have to purchase it. But hopefully there's some trial they're going to have. Because I think once you use it, especially if you're a fan of Procreate, you've wanted Procreate on Windows, this has given you that. Just like HiPaint has given us Procreate on Android, this has given us Procreate on Windows. I will try it more extensively this weekend. The only thing it's missing for me, from my perspective honestly, is it does not have vector layers the way Clip Studio Paint does. And for me, that's super important. That's critical. And of course, Procreate itself doesn't have vector layers. So it's a little bit of an unfair criticism, but I don't want to just evaluate it like a Procreate clone. You should also evaluate it on its own merits. And that is something to keep in mind. Let's see, there's some final questions or comments here. What happens for you if the display feels too large? My arm moves a lot. That can be very irritating. And then it's hard to just be on the desk. It just interferes with the keyboard. It interferes with reaching other things. It's physically imposing. Rem, I was testing this with a MoveInk 13. So I'm going to test it with a bunch of other devices, Intuos Pro. I'm going to test it with larger pen displays, like a 24-inch, 16-inch. I'm going to test it with the Samsung Galaxy Book 360, Galaxy Book 5 360 Pro. Konto, I agree, it's super polished for version 1. Super polished, right? Both Tio and I discovered sometimes it crashed. Me once, it sounded like it crashed for Tio 2 or 3 times maybe. So that's something we have to watch out for. But other than that, it's been solid, right? And you guys saw me use it the entire time. Hera, I should try Procreate again so that I can remember what I didn't like about it, so you can see if Stylus actually fixed those issues. I'm curious if they did. Sometimes apps will, if they're clones, they'll mimic the problems also. which is can also have itself can replicate things you didn't like. Okay, everyone. Oh, sorry, Art just one more comment. Some people can't deal with pen tablets. You tried for a decade, no real results. Got it. Okay, Art's display tablets were what you enjoyed. Okay, everyone, I'm going to end the stream. This has been a fun exploratory session. Tio said has been using it, so hopefully we'll see a video from him soon about it. Thanks again, everyone, for your comments and your engagement. This is a super fun stream, and if you want me to try an app or something, just let me know. I'm happy to go explore things in front of people, and it's valuable for me because you get a chance to tell me things to try, and you teach me as well. And with that, I'll say goodbye. Have a great day or night, everybody. I'll see you all. I'll be streaming again soon, so I'll see you soon.